Hey everyone, it's Wednesday. It's 8:30 here in the UK, which means it's time to get our claws and our teeth into a truly rawsome topic to discuss this week. Welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle, and this week we're going to be focusing on the magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Okay,
Well,
thank
there
you
we
for
go.
pressing
That was
play.
I'm not sure.
Oh, there we are.
That was good,
Oh
right?
well,
Yeah.
that's all right.
We can try
Shall we
again.
try that again?
Okay.
That's better.
It worked. It's not my fault. I'm just saying it's not my
This
fault.
time. So Clay, you're hosting tonight, so
I am. No, I'm not touching anything. So I'm Claire. Welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. I'm really sorry about the script, the outline. I didn't want to be shellfish this evening, and to stop me from being a little hoarse, I have the whole colony here with us this evening to talk and digest everything about Disney's Animal Kingdom, which actually is going to be 25 years old on the 20th of April this year. So yet another
Cool.
park anniversary, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Let's welcome, we've got John, Ben, Becca,
Hello.
Peter and Jill, and Robin,
Hey up.
soon to have Simon hopefully with her. But as far as I know,
He's invisible.
he's there.
He's been like
He
Drax.
is there. He's just moving really slowly.
He is.
But as far as I'm aware, everyone here has been to Animal Kingdom, which means everyone has the appropriate qualifications to talk about it. That's okay. I'm done now. Okay. So, sorry, everyone. I couldn't resist. This is what happens when I'm allowed to host. I end up with stupid. I'd say dad jokes. They're mum jokes tonight.
Jungle Cruise jokes.
Jungle Cruise jokes, right? This is it. And
There you go.
Wrong park.
Before we start, I want to say we are super busy here at the Great British Mickey Waffle. We've got loads of exciting things coming up, and we don't want you to miss out. There's lots of things we're going to talk about tonight, and at the end we'll have a little preview. So if you haven't done already, take a moment now, click the like button, ring the little bell, and then you'll get a notification every time something happens. And there's loads of things dropping into YouTube. Ben's been really busy this week, so keep an eye on what we're doing. So let's have a chat about Disney's Animal Kingdom. And I think one of the most important things is making sure you're wearing the right clothing when you go to Animal Kingdom, because we all know it's like the hottest park, isn't it? It gets really hot.
It can be.
Yeah, it's a
And-
shoes thing,
It's a
Claire. It's shoes.
Shoes.
Get the right shoes.
Oh,
Because
Is
For
that-
every park or just Animal Kingdom?
I think every park, we've missed this in the first couple of shows, haven't we? When we talked about the magic of different parks. Wearing the right park shoes is essential. However, Animal Kingdom, it is a must, because I'm dreading the fact that someone in the chat is probably going to say, "They're my shoes."
that's me.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got my fingers crossed. Kelly isn't joining us as yet, because it's the sort of thing you just think, oh my word, this could be embarrassing. But this is a real photograph, not of anyone in my party. However, I do know someone else in the chat who is taken. I have been told, Anna, thankfully, that I am not the only person who takes random pictures of people's shoes and.
I outed rather. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'll just blame. I've got to blame that totally on Anna. But
Should we have a look at these shoes in
Look at
question?
these
Yeah,
shoes
go on.
in question.
They are so inappropriate for a day in the park.
Ooh. Ow.
Oh no!
I just,
I'm assuming you're talking about the ones in the foreground, not the others.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, what gets me, Claire, is already my feet have already come up in blisters on the back.
They look brand new as
just-
well. I think the label's still underneath them, so they look.
Yeah.
You know.
And also, judging by the lack of tan, I'm beginning to think it might be someone from the UK, possibly. But I'm
There
just
is
thinking,
nothing wrong with wearing some heels to a Disney park, John. There is nothing wrong with it.
There are
You
worse
should try
heels
it and then
worn as well.
You-
Robin,
try
there's
it,
a time and a place. I'm just like, the very fact I even got my camera out to take a picture just
See, I
shows how
thought-
bad it was.
I
John,
have
yeah,
been
but you shared that
on more
picture.
than one occasion to a Disney park, not just for Dapper Day, but for lots of special occasions.
Oh, my
for
word.
like, the Christmas party, the Halloween party. I have worn heels.
Yeah, but parties. That wasn't that photo was taken
I've worn them all
at
day on Dapper Day.
half eight in the morning, going into Animal Kingdom.
Well, I mean,
just
I'm
before-
never up at 8:30, but
That's just
I've
before John
definitely worn
pushed
them
her
all day.
aside.
on the way,
Yeah,
out of the way.
Move her out of the way.
Robin, I hope you have good medical insurance. That's all I'm going to say.
All those twisted ankles. Mind you, let's face it, Crocs aren't a lot better. We're faced with the heels or Crocs, you know.
Oh,
You know.
Yeah,
Give me a
mine
good
are-
old-fashioned pair of trainers any day.
Trainers.
not good.
Warming
Not good.
trainers.
Awesome sandals.
Yeah,
Long-heeled
absolutely.
flat sandals.
Yeah.
Waterproof trainers when you go on Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person putting their shoes in the middle, do you? Wrapping them in a poncho. We'll get to Carly
It's about the only
later in the
really,
show.
it's the only
Very
good use of a pog show on Carly is to wrap your shoes in it.
Well, yeah, and your camera and anything that doesn't need to get wet. So let's talk about Animal Kingdom. We've touched on the fact that you need to. It is a super. I don't know why. I think it's just the foliage, isn't it? That's around, and it feels like a sweaty place. I don't know why. If it's the people, the weather, or just generally, it's the density of the foliage that kind of makes it feel hotter. But there's actually some really nice, quiet, shady areas that I think we're probably going to talk about as well, where you can cool off, which is nice.
Shady
but
as in cooling, not shady.
Yeah, not as in
I mean, dodgy.
dodgy or slim. Yeah, there is some shaded areas, maybe is the correct word. But yeah, so Animal Kingdom is one of my favourite parks, definitely. And for us, it tends to be the first day park for us. We tend to go there first. Don't know why it's just ended up that way, but it is. And I love being there early in the morning because I think you get such. It smells different early in the morning. I don't know why, but it's that wet.
It does.
Here I go.
Wet
The wet leaves. It smells different.
It smells like early morning dew and
It's the moisture. That's what it is.
Well, it smells different until you get to Kilimanjaro safaris. Then it smells different for a different reason. And if you go to the Jungle Trek and see the bats, they smell brilliant most of the time. Again, we'll come to them, I think. But what about you? When's your favourite time of day? When do you think Animal Kingdom is at its best? Is it first thing in the morning? Is it in the evening when it's dark? I've still not done it in the dark very much.
At
So
night.
What?
Pandora at night.
I know.
There's just something about being in Animal Kingdom just before sunset.
Yeah.
So you just
say
get
Asia
some
at sunset.
incredible views. And then you've got pictures like this of Pandora.
Yeah.
And then it just gets darker and darker, and it's just it's incredible. It really is, and there's just something, especially Pandora with the bioluminescence.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
special. I would say nighttime. Nighttime's where it's at for me. Especially if you go, so one of my favourite things to do is go get some dinner somewhere nice. And then if you kind of come out as the park's already closed or as it's closing and it's really quite quiet and you're walking around and it's all the pretty lights through the foliage, it's really special.
I don't think we've had evening meal inside Animal Kingdom. I think we tend to
No,
go.
we
You've
haven't.
missed out.
We've done
You've
lunch,
missed out.
done breakfast, but not the evening.
Yeah.
No, we've never had an evening
I mean,
now.
it's not. You don't have to do a meal. You could just do some drinks in the Nomad Lounge.
Yeah.
We
Now
just
you're
do
talking
Pandora.
my kind of
We do
language.
Or a
We do Flight
pretzel
of
at
Passage.
Pandora.
I've done that,
Yeah.
and I've stayed there for a number of hours.
Have a
This is
wheel.
a few longer.
I mean, if we're talking about the magic of Animal Kingdom, I think that Nomad Lounge is probably in the top 5 things to do because,
Absolutely.
and I absolutely, we talk about this every time we talk about Animal Kingdom. Nomad Lounge is such a little oasis of calm, serenity, peacefulness, apart from when the barges are going past with the drummers and stuff on, but you can block that out. Because you can sit even outside on the balcony there in those lovely, comfortable sofas with a beverage, and you would not know that you are in a theme park at all because your visual is off the river and off the trees. And yeah, it's incredible. You can't see Pandora, you can't see Africa, you can't see what's behind you. So, Nomad Lounge is probably one of my top places to experience in terms of magical places in Animal Kingdom.
I'm just going to write that down on the list for June because, yeah, again,
Oh,
we
I was
haven't
gonna
made
say,
it.
It's been on the list for the past, I don't know how many years, and we've never made it there.
Have you still not made it?
We
No.
still haven't made it to Nomad
We
Lounge.
I hate to say we didn't get a chance much in.
We didn't do much
December.
Animal Kingdom in December.
Mm.
No, unfortunately.
That's shocking. No,
Somewhat
It's-
gutted
it's-
about it.
Do you know what? I went with my mum one year, and it was June, so it was really hot. But we sat outside even, and you just because it's shaded and it's quiet. When the park is very busy because it was June,
Yeah.
and it was quiet. It was wonderful. Yeah.
And you don't need you can't make a reservation, you do walk up. And we did that in October, November time. I think we waited like 20 minutes and got one of the outside seats, and it was just so blissful. We stayed there maybe like an hour and a half. They do a little mini bread service. They actually do cook some quite good food if you just want like a little snackaroo in the afternoon with a couple of drinks. It's so nice. It really is. I can't express how amazing it is.
That's going to have to be a
John, you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah, and actually, I just want to go back on you're talking about being there at night time, and unfortunately, this is one of the things that hasn't quite sort of slipped back in again because it's on a 7 p.m. closing today. But we were previously when that show that was on the river that I'm not going to describe it as I did on Twitter earlier in the week.
Rivers of something.
Yes,
It rhymes with
rhymes with light. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
But the park was open. The park was open till 10, 11 at night. And what you were able to do is you were able to go and have dinner, and actually come out, and you were able to go. Everest at night time is the most amazing experience, and to be at the very top of the mountain, and to actually just see the sort of blackness of the sky. It still is one of my most amazing moments in the park, and I really hope that we get to the stage where they can sort of eke out that extra time, so that you can go and do it again.
Yeah.
Because although I must admit they did do the Twilight safari, which nobody had actually thought of the fact that if you do a safari and it's kind of dark-ish, you can't see anything.
You definitely can't get a decent photo when you're
couldn't
moving.
see. Yeah, you couldn't see absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And you sat there and you're thinking,
No one there. It's,
yeah.
I just have this vision of the trucks going round, going, well,
Yeah.
there's savannah,
But
and there's some savannah.
There's some darkness. There's a
There might
tree.
be a pond in there somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure it was about 2017 or 2018,
Yeah.
and they did
Yeah,
it as
I think you're right.
a summer promotion. And what they were trying to do is get you on this Twilight safari,
Yeah.
and like nobody had actually thought it through.
You don't see anything,
So-
but you get eaten alive
No.
by mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just it was
That's
crackers. But it was,
Experience, Claire.
it was one of them, but-
Experience. Yeah.
But the park itself of an evening, and when the light goes down, is absolutely incredible. what I would also say, Nomad Lounge, no matter what time of the day or evening it is actually one of those places that you kind of time stands still and you kind of lose yourself, and
Yeah.
it is serenity completely,
It is.
because you just
I'm only
you
there
wouldn't-
for one
Easy.
thing, John.
Yeah,
I'm only in Nomad Lounge because
Yeah.
the drinks list is amazing.
Drinks list. The drinks list is amazing.
Yeah.
Is amazing, definitely. And I'm looking at the chat, and actually, there's loads of people in the chat saying evening out,
Yeah.
into the night time in Animal Kingdom is
Yeah.
amazing. I'm just having a look, and we haven't said hello to anyone. I'm going to say a quick shout out. We've got loads of people in the chat.
Okay.
I saw Butch was there at the beginning. We've got
He was
Kelly's
first
Mead,
in.
Marla, Colton, Carrie. Colton, $14 each is the answer to the question you asked earlier on in
Is
terms
that
of mini
about
golf.
mini golf?
How much was mini golf? It's $14 each. Yeah, Catherine,
worth
I
every
can't stand
penny.
Crocs either. And John's there. Hey John, nice to see you. I'm glad you're taking some UK people to Walmart. I hope you
Oh,
survive
wow.
the experience. And
And
Anna's there as well. So we've got
Yeah.
all the cool
Marla.
kids are here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Simon's here, so
Harry.
we're all here.
At the
Oh,
Nomad Lounge is the Ananapur Zing, isn't it? That's one of the
Yes.
one of the drinks there.
Yeah.
Bread service.
Yeah. I've had a drink there that had peppercorns on the top as well, and that was kind of one of those ones that you kind of have to filter it through your teeth as you're drinking it.
Ooh.
Because otherwise you get a mouthful of peppercorns, which is
Yeah.
that no one really wants that. I don't think it's very
No.
tasty.
I wasn't sold on that one.
No, I haven't
There's
had it
something,
again.
just being in
No,
the park, like
me
you
neither.
said about being in the park at night, there's just something about it. You just don't, there's no one around you. It's like we were lucky in June that we did Pandora Avatar at the very end of the night. So we jumped on it with a relatively shortish queue. And when
It's been about 45 minutes.
which is good for flight of passage, but we ended up recording this just afterwards.
I'm not here unless it's the lottery. I'm not here.
Yeah. Ben, I've only got one. I've only got one thought there. Everyone watching has just now needed to go for a quick comfort break.
Oh my goodness.
It's just like, oh no.
Waterfall of Pandora.
That is the most amazing place, and if you're there first thing in the morning, it's a completely different experience than it is of an evening. Yet it's still the photograph opportunities are just immense, because if you're in that area, the colours that are actually within some of the flower beds just lend themselves so much to taking photographs of even just of the flower beds. But if you put people in front of them, everything sort of stands out in totally in 3D. When you get to night time, you wouldn't even think it was the same place, and you could take the same photo and it is just completely different, and that's the magic of it. And I think that to me is the beauty of the Imagineering of a lot of Animal Kingdom. I take my hat off.
It hits at different times, doesn't it?
And I take my hat off to Joe Road 8. I think we've got a park which, perhaps unfairly, was kind of sidetracked for probably about the first 15 years of its life, maybe more. Where people were saying, it's just a half-day park. Actually, it isn't, and I really think that's a message that we need to give people tonight, is the fact that
Sorry,
it's more,
I'm distracted by the
than that.
cat's bum. In the
Yes.
middle of the
Oh,
cat.
look at that, yeah.
It's a theme tonight. Yes.
It's a theme.
Animal
It's a theme.
Kingdom.
Brand.
Animal
It's-
Kingdom, and wait till we get to the safari. Some fabulous photos there. But
John, you're right, and I think that there's something. Actually, I think Pandora as an area, you can find some of the most amazing I'm going to say nooks and crannies, little corners to
Yeah.
to sit down and chill. Certainly, when I was there on my own in May, I grabbed one of the massive pretzels, because who doesn't like a big pretzel, and a drink. And I found like this little alcove that had. It wasn't a through route to anywhere. It was just like a little dead end, and there was like rocks that you could sit on. And I sat there on my own for about 40 minutes, just chilling, sort of recouping, trying to rehydrate. And actually, it was so pleasant. There was like a couple of people came in and took a few photos, and they actually apologized. They were like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't want to interrupt." I'm like, "I'm in a theme park, this is not my own world." But it was just so secluded and private. It was perfect, but it was in the middle of Pandora. And so I think if you are willing, you can go down all those little paths and find all these little places that you would just scoot past if you were trying to do it in half a day. And I know in the promo for the show we talked about the fact that it's suggested to be a half-day park. If you're doing it in half a day, you're missing half the fun, I think.
Definitely.
My personal view.
And more. You're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point of the park.
Yeah.
I think in its early years, though, it suffered because it was there was so much more promised on day one, and then it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So they had to fill it out with like real filler stuff that was like. It's not a surprise that it felt from the early days like it was only a half-day park because they kind of ran out of money because they spent it all on planting and making it look amazing.
Yeah.
On an oil rig.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good-looking oil rig.
It is. But when Camp Mini Mickey was there, there wasn't really very much down, and Pandora took a very long time. We know that it took almost as long as Tron.
Nothing's ever taken that long.
It took almost
and Tron's
as
taken
long
nearly
as
as long as the parking garages at Disney screens.
But it took less time for them to do all of that than it did for them to do Avatar 2, the film.
That's what I was about to say.
But I think that when the addition of Pandora has it. I mean, it sucks up a lot of crowds.
Yeah.
It eats guests over there, but I think
The animals.
Yeah.
But I think if you're right, Simon. I think at the beginning, it was a bit of a I'm not quite sure what this is. So
And that's why we ended up with Dino Land for 20 years.
so long, yeah.
Too long.
Is it just
Dino Land?
so when I went to Animal Kingdom in December, I did the Caring for Giants tour, and our cast member, who's part of the almost the animal husbandry, so the veterinary team, and he asked us a question: is Animal Kingdom a theme park or a zoo? And the answer is yes. It's neither, but it's both. So it's quite an interesting discussion, and I think that the sheer size of Animal Kingdom you miss completely, and I didn't realise how much space there is behind Animal Kingdom in terms of the fields that they use to grow the crops to feed the animals.
Yeah.
It's enormous. It's a great tour. If any, we're going to talk about VIP tours on a show coming up soon. But if anyone, for $35, the Caring for Giants tour, where you get to go backstage and look at the elephants, absolutely brilliant. I can wholeheartedly recommend it.
Do you know what?
One
I didn't really like it, but we'll talk about
Did you
that.
not?
No, I was just a bit. I think we didn't have a good guide. I think that's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it was. We did it when it was part of a bigger tour. We'll talk about that another day.
Put a pin in that one. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. So, what are people's thoughts on the little walkway from Pandora to Africa? Where the queue for Flight of Passage goes when it's really busy.
Yeah.
The bridge, as you walk
love
around
that
to
bridge.
Fest of the Lion King.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so quiet. Nobody walks that way.
Yeah.
And there's a
Very
couple of
few
little
people,
spots
yeah.
You can just stand and
It's
watch
the-
Nomadland.
It's quite to one of those flotillas go by.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Ben. I hang there and you watch all the boats go by with the characters and the band. That's my favourite place to stand because you're really close to them, so you can get some interaction, and it's quiet.
It is, and I think it's such a beautiful area. I've taken some really lovely photos there as well, looking up.
That's just what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get, and there's nobody around, and it's completely unobstructed view.
Yeah.
So yeah, Club 33 down there for anyone who's a member. Not me.
I've been in it. I'm not a member though.
Have you?
Oh,
Have you?
I've been in that.
There we go.
That's the toilets, isn't it? That's the side of the
It is,
room.
yes.
It is.
Yeah.
There's so much signage around there. But
That's
you know,
generally where I end up queued up with going to Pandora first thing in the morning. Yeah. However,
What do you say, Ben?
it does move quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's on the side. That's on the bit opposite Club 33.
Yeah.
And there's so many drawings and things from Harambe and everywhere in that area that if you just take the moment just to look around, because like you said, John, we're so busy to go into Pandora to join the queue to do Flight Passage, and just taking the time just to, because I think this video was from you, Claire. I'll just play it. I think it's from that area.
Look who's dashing down the Discovery River! It's thrill-seeking billionaire Scrooge McDuck and his faithful travel companion, Lunchtime McQuack.
It wasn't me, but I
wasn't.
love Lord. I love
Oh,
Lord.
is that one of
Chappelle
Robin's?
Back.
But I think that's the part where it changed. Is that the bit where it actually changes from Pandora to Africa?
Yeah, just as it goes around past those leaves.
Yeah.
And I
Right
think,
under the bridge.
Yeah.
and there's loads of signage as you come into Africa. There's loads of painted signs and stuff. There's stuff in Swahili that actually, if you take the time, either ask a cast member what it means or translate it. You can use it on your phone, Google Translate, whatever. And they're all really interesting things that even in the queue for the Festival of Lion King, some of the signage on the wall, if you translate it, is quite funny. There's someone with a sense of humour has written that.
I have to try that.
Yep.
One of them, I think, says this is a queue or this is a line or this is where you went. And it's just these brilliant pictures and great Swahili signs. So you know, and that the other bit that I think gets missed is the area when you come out of Festival of Lion King on the left hand side. You know that bit where the stroller parking is around the back of Tusker House. Yeah, but actually, around that area, it's quiet, it's shaded, you have to sort of wade through some strollers, but there is some seating there as well. There's some benches. It's such a lovely area behind the strollers.
I might have to go that way next time we come out of Festival of Lion King.
Let's go.
I'm always blinded by the sunlight.
Just have to wait till everyone else.
It was like that. Oh, I can't see it. It does feel a bit like that, doesn't it?
I've just got visions of you tripping over a stroller.
Oh, will probably happen. And then I'll probably get shouted at by the owner of said stroller for tripping over it.
But yeah,
Fine, as long as you don't wear those shoes.
Hang a left. You hang a left as if you're going, because there is there's some backstage stuff behind there, but if you hang a left and round that back area behind the back of Tusker House, there is some really nice little spots to, you know, if you grabbed a drink or something, you could sit there.
Is that like one of the clever parts of the whole park, though, Claire? Because you've now gone from Pandora into Africa, and we're talking about the same thing. You can find little places within the park where again,
exactly it.
You do not feel as if you're actually in a theme park. You don't feel as if you're in this place that's got umpteen thousand people sharing the place with you. You actually feel as if you are just completely just alone and just able to just chill out. And it is such an amazing bit of design. And I think that for me is one of the key parts of Animal Kingdom. No matter where you are in the park, you can always find time for yourself, and you can always find time to just have a seat and just watch the world go by. And there's no better feeling than that. There really isn't.
I think you're right. I think out of all of the parks, I think when you look at the walkways and the pathways around Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, they're all quite wide, they're open, and they direct you. Anna, they are
Anna's got it. Thank you, Anna.
They direct you in specific ways. So they want you to go into certain directions. You know, they're funneling you towards different areas.
Yeah.
I never feel like that in Animal Kingdom. I feel like I can meander down different walkways, different parkways, and just, whether it's a little seat by the river or whether it's hidden round the back by the marketplace in Africa, or wherever it is. If you want to get the train over to Rafiki's Sandwich, there is somewhere where you can be a step away, which I don't necessarily feel in the other three parks.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, if somebody's watching or listening to this and you are basically planning your first trip there, don't be afraid to just take your time and just look for this detail that's there, because it's in abundance, and it's, be it signs for toilets or be it signs for going down certain paths, they've actually taken the time to actually design it that way. So go and get a bit of space and time to yourself, and just enjoy it.
What about you, Peter and Jill? You haven't said much. Where would you put your favourite area of Animal Kingdom to go and hang out?
Interesting. I don't think I have a favourite. I just like the whole thing as a whole. And I know that sounds a bit bleh, but it's true. I don't think there is a favourite area. I like going from really busy to really quiet.
I found a nice little space this time. This time's the first time that we went up to Kali River Rapids, because on our first trip it was too cold. On our second trip it was shut. The ride was down the day we were there. So it's the first time we've been up to that little area where there's a couple of shops and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered that you can go into the back of the Yak and Yeti counter service.
Yes.
So while Peter was getting soaked on Kali River Rapids, I went and got some drinks. Yes,
you were on the bridge waiting on him coming back, Jill. You were there waiting just to get him twice as wet.
No, I went.
Should have that
We
video.
should have the video of Zach getting drenched.
Yeah,
Zach.
Oh wow, that was
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
No,
My favourite moment ever.
As I was saying, I don't think I have a favourite area at all. I just like the park. Okay, so maybe the sideshow area is a bit, but it's fun to ride Triceratops spin sometimes. Maybe.
One thing we liked, yes, Zach.
Take them out of the rice now, Zach.
Yeah,
Oh,
Zach.
dear.
If anyone who hasn't seen that clip that we're referring to, will have to dig it out and put it in the Waffler's arms.
Yeah.
But put it this way: you remember the bit in The Little Mermaid where she's singing "Part of Your World" that she goes up on the rock and the big wave behind her goes. Whoop? Just think of that.
Except it went all over him.
All over-
Yeah.
Well, what goes up must come down, right?
But no,
Zach, I'm not laughing at you. I would never laugh at you, Zach. I was
With
laughing.
you.
I was laughing with you. Honest.
So,
Oh.
Jill,
It's all right, guys. I think we got away with it.
Yeah, that area, Jill, I think is really cool, and you're right. The back of the Yak and Yeti local food cafe bit.
yes.
There's a little fountain, and there's some cold. The seating gets a bit hot if it's in direct sunlight, but there are some shaded
I was
areas.
under the fan. I was sitting in the shaded area under a great big fan with some drinks and some fruit, waiting for
Well
Peter
done.
to come off the ride. Yeah.
But if you walk a bit further past there, you get to correct me, it's now the Maharaja Jungle Trek.
Jungle Trek, yeah.
Is that,
Yes.
is that the correct name for it currently?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it's changed
Maharaja.
a few times. Now that is such a lovely, quiet, and that's somewhere that I always go there. I don't always go to the Gorilla Falls one, but I always go to the Jungle Trek because I love the bats. I know they smell, but I actually can spend like an hour just standing looking at the bats. And I did have an experience back in May where I overheard a gentleman explaining to, I'm assuming his offspring, the fact that these things that were hanging from the trees, he was pointing them out, going, look at the pupa, they will make their way out of there eventually, and they'll have their wings when they hatch. And I was like, Well, and you know, when you look at a bat hanging upside down, it could look like
Yeah.
a, you know, like a butterfly in a
Yeah.
chrysalis. But this is what he was telling his child, and I wasn't sure if he was being serious or not, so I just sort of turned to my back, and I was like, oh my God, you know, these great big things, and this kid's like, going, oh my God, when's it going to hatch? Oh, I don't know. You know, I was like, this is not right. I can't listen to this.
We've never done the jungle trek yet. We tried.
We tried, yes.
And we tried to do it. Something has distracted us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame. It's and it is a beautiful area, and I know that you know, shameless plug for Here with the Magic, the show that they had out this week did have a bit of footage of that, and you know, there's the birdie bit, and then there's the tigers, and it's a really
My
lovely.
favourite part. I love going to look at the tigers. I could sit and watch the tigers all day, but like you with the bats.
Do you not think, guys, though, that's one of the things that people just walk past, and
They don't even know it's there because you have to go back to find it.
It doesn't have that. It doesn't have that sort of big. You know, they need a big, massive sort of sign to pull people in, and actually, it just looks. It's so well themed that you just think, oh yeah, that fits with the area. Let's keep walking, and people miss it. And actually, and I think that's part of the magic of the park, because it doesn't need to be in your face. It's there, and then you'll probably listen to something like this and go, we've never done that. Where and you need to go back, and that's what I love about it. It's just like, and like you said, Claire, I just think it is the most amazing thing to be able to just lose yourself for an hour.
Yeah, it's easy to spend a lot of time in there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's stunning and beautiful.
I love the detail of that part of the park.
The details. It really is.
There's that where that little ice cream truck is, you know, the Anandapur ice cream.
Yeah.
And there's the little toilet block next to it that's got
Yes.
crampons and the rucksack.
Brilliant, isn't it?
And the realism of that is like the fact that they bought all that stuff in Nepal as ex-camping gear and brought it back. It's just got that credibility to it, as it feels really authentic. And that is the bit that I love walking around the most in that park, is all the bit from Kali River Rapids and
through the jungle trek,
all around that area of the park is my favourite bit to be, kind of during the day, and then Pandora at night. That bit during the day, Yak and Yeti food, like that bit for me is just Animal Kingdom. That is Animal Kingdom to me.
Yeah,
there's some really cute photo spots as well. Like really nice.
And there are those little secluded areas you can
people miss them as well, though, because you get the back of the Tree of Life as well. So and people don't know it's there.
No.
So you need to go exploring, because it's not completely in your face, and it's wonderful. But the backside of the Tree of Life is for want of a better description.
So since we're on that subject,
is this like the third show in a row, or a show we talked about behind the things?
I think we're trying to see if we can make it a theme.
Yeah. Can I just say before we move on?
Yeah.
Talking about the Tree of Life, one of my favourite places is the queue for Tough to Be a Bug.
Oh, yeah.
Because you go around the Tree of Life and you see all the carvings and all the intricacies.
You do.
It's lovely.
Really good
Brilliant.
view.
Yeah.
I'd walk in the theatre and walk straight out the other side.
I say.
I like the show.
I love the show.
I like it, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I don't like bugs.
I don't like bugs either. They're not real.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Hopper's quite scary. Come on.
But also
it's quite scary.
For show people like we are, for theatre geeks like us, all the posters as you go in.
Oh, the posters are incredible. Absolutely incredible.
So funny. And there are so many jokes in the show, actually. It's a really good show. And yes, I know it's bugs, but it's funny.
Well, What do people in the
no.
chat think about Tough to Be a Bug? Because I think it's a bit like Marmite. You love it or hate it, don't you?
I was
Yeah.
never a huge fan of A Bug's Life either,
The closest
Really?
we've got to doing it is
Yeah.
me listening to it on Deep Park Radio. That's the closest to it.
You can do it whenever you like.
brilliant.
I'm quite what is it?
You've
I think
never
I've
been
done
on it. You've never watched it. Oh, come on! You have to
okay.
do it at least
You've
once.
experienced
You've
it.
got to do it.
I think I've done it 3
I-
I'll
times.
go and do it.
I'll
I'll
go
go
do
find
it
a
in
quiet
June.
spot in Nomad Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think I've done it
I
3
managed-
times. So the
I
first
managed
time-
Dinosaur this time, so you know.
Yeah. The first
Challenge
time I
If
saw
you've
it,
done, if you've done
I think it was
Dinosaur, Jill,
okay.
you can do bugs like that.
Anything.
Yeah.
I remember
is.
taking
No, I've done it.
Tough to be a
Morgan.
bug is brilliant.
I remember taking Morgan to It's Tough to Be a Bug when he was probably about 11 or 12 and he freaked out. And we haven't been on it again until last October, 2019, where we took Millie for the first
wow.
time.
Yeah.
And honestly, she was so freaked. She was so scared. She actually climbed under the bench, which is pointless
Wrong
because that's where
place,
half
wrong
of
place,
his-
Wrong
Yeah.
place.
Right. And then we got her back. I mean, she was 7 at the time. So we got her back onto the bench just as it finished, which is when you get the effect.
The effect, yeah.
Oh,
And so every time we go past it now, everyone in our family is like, not going in there. Not going in there. Not going in there.
oh,
Everybody
I
hates it.
quite like it.
It's wonderful. You've
I
got
just
to do
refuse
it.
to put myself through that. So
It's
I have
not
no issue with
scary.
bugs.
It is. It's one of them. It's a psychological trick. That's all it is. It's
It
just
gets
trying to-
really dark and very
but
smoky.
it doesn't. Yeah, but it just plays on your senses. It's
I know.
absolutely brilliant.
It's clever. It's clever.
And,
yeah.
and one of the things you really do need to do is just go. So you put the 3D glasses on with the bugs bit on, all, so you get a picture before you go in of with your bug eyes on. That's it. Sorted.
Well,
Anyway, back
Let's
to
move-
backsides.
let's go
Tell-
back to the backsides of animals. And
Yes.
in my humble opinion, and I know we've had this conversation previously, probably one of the best attractions in all of Walt Disney World, the Kilimanjaro Safari, because
Oh, yes.
every single visit is different.
Nice picture that, Ben. Like that.
Yeah.
That's like Jurassic Park, you know,
Isn't it
things in
just
this
like
milk.
that? Yeah.
You know,
Things
that's
never
like,
look closer than they
yeah,
seem.
you just need the vibration coming. It's like, you know, is it Kilimanjaro Safari? Is it dinosaur? Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a
I think the
hybrid.
most
We
memorable
never thought we'd
thing
know.
of Kilimanjaro Safari is this, isn't it? The backside
Yeah.
of every animal.
The
Backside of
backside
must
of
have hundreds
every
of those
animal.
pictures.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a picture of an animal's
Everyone does.
behind?
Oh, here's one.
Because the animal.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
right.
There you go. That's nice. Look at that.
White Rhino, lovely, yeah.
Out of the 30 of the one that we took, that's probably the only one that we've got. There's a nice
There you go.
mix. There's a mix.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
But
but
I'm happy.
I'm sure the animals do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure they do.
So right here we go, lads. Come on. It's another.
Like the old
Another-
Kit Kat advert with the pandas and the roller skates.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in my
There's
head. John.
another truck. Are you ready? Yeah, let's all face the
Go
other
on,
way.
John,
That's
turn
it.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
turn
that's
around.
It's all they just do it for you, John. They know how much of a bum man you are, so you know.
Oh, it must be. Yeah, it must be. It must be. There's one picture. I don't know if you can get to it, Ben, where the rhino just decided. Yeah, I can see him coming. He's looking for a picture. It's just like it just disappeared, so you only get the backside of the animal itself.
That one.
It's just like that one.
That's like one of the animals on the Jungle Cruise where you've only actually got the back end of it. The
Yeah.
rest of it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wrong. It's just like how on earth does that happen?
So was this Kilimanjaro Safari or Jungle Cruise?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Play that game.
Yeah, which is it?
Oh, it's just it's crackers.
We had a great safari in December where when we went to buy the giraffes, someone poking out his head. It was in
Oh,
the
Oh, wow.
Was there actually
That's
two or
lovely,
three
that.
of them in that bush?
yeah.
I think that December was a really good time, actually.
Yeah.
I had a great safari in December. I did have to queue for it, and I sucked up the line, you know, but it was probably, I think, the best experience on... And you know, your driver and your guide, a bit like Jungle Cruise Skipper in some ways. It really
Yeah.
depends on their knowledge.
Yeah,
But you
it
do.
does.
I can't say that I haven't learned something different on every single time I've been on that
No.
attraction. I've been on it a
That's
lot.
true.
That particular guide was fantastic, and there was a lot of activity. It was early in the morning. It was early December, so it wasn't particularly hot. There were giraffes who had to wait a bit longer than normal because there were giraffes who were refusing to move out of the way. But that all gives you a bit more of an experience, and I think that because it is a little, it is unpredictable. When they talk, we had a conversation with the guide on the Caring for Giants tour that they really can't. They can usher animals in 2 different areas if they need to. But generally there is relatively free roaming in certain spaces. So they are not in control necessarily of your experience, which is unusual for a Disney attraction, where usually everything is so engineered from whether where your car is facing to what the lighting looks like and which bit of the scenery you can see and which bit you can't see, rather than, so actually the safari is so different in terms of, you're going to see what you're going to see. It may be nothing, it may be everything. And I think that makes it, the re-rideability, really exciting.
And I would say no 2 safaris over the same.
No.
Although we did learn something this time, which is that the left-hand side of the truck is better.
Yes.
Because with the couple in front of us, we expected them to go in the right-hand side of the row in front of us, and they didn't. They deliberately went on the left-hand side of the row that we were going in, so we were on the right, and they got a much better view than we did.
Yeah.
My top tip is to always ask to go in the back seats. So I always ask to go in the back row, because then you've got pretty much a 180 view, maybe 270 view of everything. So and you can, if there is something you want to take a photo, you can wait until everything else is out of the way, and then you can turn around and pan around. So I always ask to go at the back. It is a little bumpier. But
They've done the back end before.
Very much how it is, Simon. Yes.
Yeah.
It's also just picking up on what Peter said there, and Jill was saying about being within the left-hand side of the vehicle. It's actually better as a family of 4. So you queue up, and you usually you push the kids on first, don't you, and things like that. Make sure that there's an adult on the gated side.
Out the outside.
Yeah, it's not. So, Dad with camera out the way. I'm on the left-hand side. I'm on the left-hand side of the truck, and then your mum can sit on the other side and look after the gate. That's it. We're sorted.
The other thing we've done is go 2 and 2.
There you go. Comment of the night. I love it.
Is it because
Oh, that was wonderful. You've been heckled in the chat by your bestie. I even love that. It's brilliant.
I think that's revenge.
I know.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's how it goes. That's just how it is. But we've done 2 and 2 before, actually. So you get 2 on the left, and then you get the behind. Yeah.
Wow,
With strategic seating planning.
Sneaky.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You just have to remember when you get to the cast member at the front of the queue, says, how many? And someone goes, 4. You go, shut up.
2.
I've been known to do that on a few rides where they try and stick 4 of us in a row and
Any of the boat rides.
bottoms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Any of the boat rides, 2 and 2. But I think that Safari for me is just like one of those, and I know some people don't want to wait for it. It's just animals, but actually, I think it's such a special experience.
No, it epitomises what the whole park's there for.
It is.
And detach yourself away from that whole bit about captivity, etc. I get that completely, without going too deep into the politics of it. It actually is. I just think it's the most fantastic thing to be able to experience. And
I know I've mentioned before. I think I've listened to a podcast, and I can't remember which one it is. I'm going to have to find it. Where it talked. There was a conversation with a cast member who'd been on the college program and had got the safari as their location, So
wow.
in their they don't tend to do that because of the amount of training. But within the first 2 weeks, usually people are learning to press a button and maybe bail someone out. He had to learn. He had to learn the whole spiel, all the information about the animals, and how to drive the trucks, which is not straightforward. Across a 2-week period. So he was going home and revising every night, and he was talking about how the capacity of the safari, that particular attraction, I think, if I remember correctly, it can hold up to something like 50 trucks.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, each truck seats 45 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you think it has queues of 90 minutes.
Right. So the
how many
capacity
people must be getting on that ride?
The total capacity of that attraction is enormous. So when it goes down for any reason or there's a delay, it completely obliterates the park, which is when you feel it. And that combined with Festival of the Lion King running, that's why I think we find those areas in Animal Kingdom where you do feel like you've got those quiet spots, because the attractions are high capacity and they suck people in for a relatively long time. The safari's a good 20 minutes by the time you load and offload. Plus
I'm guessing nobody. I'm guessing nobody misses Little Red.
No. I think that I think that it was appropriate to remove that storyline, and I think that they talk about conservation, and I think that's one of the big parts of Animal Kingdom, that the ecology and the conservation message that goes through the whole park is paramount to everything they do. So to have that as embedded across everything rather than specific thing in an attraction, I think
storyline.
Yeah. Can I just cut across? And I'm just aware of time and stuff like that. But it's maybe appropriate also to mention the other bit, which kind of follows on from this, is if once you're talking about the conservation stuff, loads of people miss the train that goes to the conservation station.
Yeah.
Where you get character meet and greets. There is the
I haven't seen any characters there recently,
you miss some of my best character meet and greets.
Me too. Since the pandemic, I haven't seen any characters there.
But also, if you can get there, please do. It's not a waste of time, because it shows you the exact sort of the veterinary side of Animal Kingdom. And for anyone, particularly if you've got kids who are interested in that type of thing, it's so informative. It just has the extra bit, the behind the scenes bit, and actually loads of people just, I think, going back to where we came from at the start, when you were saying half day park, actually there's a half day in that, because by the time you've done the train, you've explored what's there.
People miss it though, John.
Yeah,
they don't even know it's, or they can't. I've been at fault with that, going, I can't be bothered to get on the train and go over there, and what am I going to see?
Yeah.
But
it's
actually,
brilliant. It really is, and
the cast members who are stationed up there are incredible.
Yeah,
and they will answer every ridiculous question that a 7 or 8 year old has about animals that they're looking at. I can promise you, and they do it with good humour as well. You know, they must have been asked every question under the sun.
But that's the other thing, Claire, as well, is the fact that there's so much for kids that if you think about what the other 3 parks essentially cut out with a lot of the rides that possibly your 7 or 8 year olds is not tall enough to ride, Animal Kingdom gives it back in absolute abundance.
Yeah,
and to me that is such a thing that if you miss it, there's conservation station. You've also got Wilderness Explorers, which there you go, t-shirt for the evening.
Yeah.
The wilderness must be explored.
Is it like that?
Yeah. But you've just got to. That is, again, it invites you deeper and deeper and deeper into the park and what it's about. It's just
yes.
Unmissable.
If you walk past one of those Wilderness Explorers, you have to do it. If you walk past a cast member,
It's like if you see Peter Pan and you go, You have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one
Yeah,
of those things.
yeah.
If you're a
Oh, that's
sad Disney
brilliant.
adult like us. Hannah, you're absolutely right. It isn't what it once was. The whole petting zoo bit, I wish they would just get rid of, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Me too.
I think it's
Don't
not
eat
necessary.
goat.
It smells.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
goats are, you
Yeah.
know, we don't need that anymore. And they could reorganise that into something more exciting, I think.
Yeah.
That's the bit that I wish they would just stop. But yeah. Absolutely, Marla. I heard that. The A's.
Thank you, Marla. Yeah.
We would call the AZA, but AZA.
Yeah.
AZA.
And
AZA.
they have to go through. I didn't realise that they have to go through accreditation almost on an annual basis, and they have to meet so many standards to be part of that. So you know, you can be assured of the fact that the animal welfare and conservation is absolutely paramount in the entire park. Which you know, when you can't always say when you're going to a theme park which has got live animals. So
Yeah, and Carrie's point there as well about the fact that the name doesn't pull people in, and that's a cracking.
I like the fact you can
cracking
see
point.
backstage when you're on the train.
Favourite bit. You see all the like
it hits it for me.
animals going
Waving
through
my
it.
neck.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff
see an
that
animal.
you see almost at the Magic of Animal Kingdom Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
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 Great series.
Um,
You should wholly look into the park as well.
Yeah.
Oh God, we haven't. There's so many places we haven't even spoken about.
I haven't spoken
Lion
about Everest
King.
yet.
Lion
We've not even spoken
We
about
haven't
the
spoken
lion.
about shows.
No.
Yeah.
At all.
We're
no.
banned. We're banned. We're on
Yeah,
a
we
three-
probably don't want to
we're
have
on a
that conversation.
We're on a 3-year ban from talking about the shows of Animal Kingdom.
That's
'Cause
because
if-
one of them's rubbish, one of them's all right, and then one's amazing, right?
Aye, that's
Right.
exactly it. And the best one, Ben got wrong on the.
No,
on
Ben
the-
got it right. No,
He
Ben
got
got
it
it
wrong.
right.
He got it
No,
wrong.
But the
You
best
got it
thing
wrong.
about that is this.
I love the Tumble Monkeys so
And they
much.
are back.
As they're
Oh my
back.
God, they're back.
They're
But
back.
We
yes,
haven't seen them yet.
yeah, they were back when we went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Genuinely
No,
Yeah.
makes my heart happy to see them back.
I have
We'll
to
be happy
agree.
with us, John.
My favourite part. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
We we didn't go to Festival of the Lion King. We went to see the new Nemo show instead. We only had time to do one of them.
Oh,
We were
cool.
out there in
Try it,
December.
yeah.
Oh, that's a
So
shame.
just for you, we went to see the Nemo show.
Thank you.
And then you came out and went, "No, we should have seen the
No,
Yeah.
no what I did realise is that Ben put something on. Was it on Instagram?
Even
on,
John,
yeah, it
yeah.
was.
on Insta on Monday,
It's putting them
and
out.
actually made Lloyd cry again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was amazing, because actually it's that exact part of the show, Ben, that is just if you got lads as a dad, it is the most sort of
Sentimental.
It never
That's the word
leaves
you're
you
looking for.
ever. It never ever leaves you, and so yeah.
Maybe
My
so.
favourite part of the Lion King show is the fire juggler.
Is it?
It's
Oh, in Scar
spectacular.
section.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
brilliant.
just love that song though.
I just love the
I-
entire show. I can't fault it.
I
in
do.
any-
Yeah.
I
But-
have to say that when I saw it in October and December,
Yeah.
the dancers, performers were incredible.
Yeah.
I was, in my own personal opinion, and I'm sure they're fabulous, disappointed by the singers.
No, did you have
time-
3 or 4?
We had 4 both
Because
times.
when we were there in June, we only had 3, and it felt
Yep.
odd.
Yeah.
I
Well-
had 3, and it felt odd.
Yeah,
Six
I
goes, 6.
they haven't brought. So some of the original cast members have come back, and when I look at the Tumble Monkeys, a lot of them are the original cast who were pre-COVID. If you've watched it enough, you can see who it is, even with their suits on. The main 4 characters, they haven't brought back the same cast members for whatever reason. Could be lots of reasons.
Oh, no.
And the new guys are great, and I'm sure that they're all incredible performers. For me, it just didn't hit the mark. didn't have the same feeling.
Some of
That's
the
a
originals
personal.
are back. Some of the originals, the main guy, I forget their names. We were chatting to him, and he's been doing it. Kawame. He's been doing it since it opened, and he's back.
There's 2 or 3. It's not. There's a couple of them, isn't there, or is it the same?
There's a few.
Yeah. But
the birds are flying now. To see the comment.
Yeah.
And even since the last time I went, they have brought it fully back. So they
they have. It was in November.
Yeah.
And they've got the little shakers, which
perfect.
I'm always
I love
missed.
that.
So I'm so happy. I can't
Millie has. We used to come in fairly late and position Millie at the end of the row on like row 2 or 3, and she's been part of the show so many times. You know, she does that whole cute thing, and then she's there, like Animal Kingdom top with ears.
Who did she learn that from, Claire?
It's like they go into the audience and choose a child, and she's like, "Hi," and then she's dancing around. You know, we've got video after video of it happening, like every single show. If she didn't get picked, she would be disappointed. But I just there's something about that show that I think the dynamic of the show, the interactivity with the audience all the way through, the stilt walkers who dance are incredible, you know, all of it. And I know that Nemo is amazing as well. And we're so fortunate. Look at this ridiculous segue. We are so fortunate to have a friend of the show in the Nemo show that we will be having a chat with in the very near future. And, you know, Katie Wetzel has been with us. She's an honorary waffler, and she's back playing Dory, and we can't wait to chat to her again to find out about how things are going. So as a heads up to what's coming in the future, watch this space, because Katie's coming back for yet another chat, and we are so excited.
Can't wait.
I just want to take you back to Lion King again, because
I had to push that in there, Simon. I was on the roll.
I always wonder whether like Disney knew what they were doing when they put that show there, whether they thought that it was going to become as significant a show there as it has done, because the origins
it's a bit
of
of a
it,
cult
like
classic, isn't it now?
the Camp Mini Mickey was like a last minute thing of when they didn't build Beastly Kingdom there because they ran out of money. They just went build a tent and put a show in it.
Fix something in it.
Imagineering had no involvement in it, and they just went get those old floats from California and we'll put a show in a tent. And then
here we are
like 25 nearly years later. And it's still a massive part of that park.
Can you imagine the development team?
Mini Mickey, they built an entire new area for it, and it's still there. And when
so theatre in the round, involve the audience. What noise does a giraffe make?
I don't think they could have. Beyond their wildest dreams, I don't think they could have imagined it would come to that point of. It's still a really in-demand show that everybody has to go to. It went away, and everybody went, "Oh, well, where are the tumble monkeys and where are the flying birds?" Like everybody missed it and wanted it back, and it's now just back exactly as it was before. And
we're all happy about it.
Everybody's really happy to see it again.
But does that not make Animal Kingdom the unique park that it is? Because actually, the live shows are just absolutely incredible. And
more than things that have gone. I'm more the dance parties on Discovery Island. Like some of those, but I'm thinking the big shows like those.
But both Nemo and Lion King, you could imagine, just as they could actually sell tickets for it, because it is such a good show again and again, and the standard of it is so amazing. You know,
don't go giving them ideas.
Give them ideas,
They
go together.
I mean, I suppose it could be argued they already do because you can pay for Genie Plus.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You wouldn't the bird show, which used to be the Up show, that's not up anymore, is it? I don't think it is.
No.
Is it Flights of
Wonder or something?
It used to be Flights of Wonder. Then it was
then it changed to the Up Bird Adventure.
I'm not sure.
Feathered Friends in Flight.
Friends in Flight.
That's it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Be careful when you say that. I just walked past it.
See, I quite enjoy it.
Do you know what? It's quite fun.
It's quite funny.
It's better than Nemo.
I don't want it.
Say, if you weren't
Oh
on
my-
screen, we'd be fighting. We'd be fighting.
This is
That'd be it.
serious.
Aye, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Robin,
Wow.
Robin,
I'm
how
just
long
going to
do you
move
want
you
to
to
be
the
a
other side of the
waffler?
screen.
Robin, how long do you actually want to be a waffler?
There is room for all opinions in this team. Please say that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly.
I will mediate this discussion. And
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
Nemo.
You know
No,
what?
I feel bad. Nemo is good. They have great air conditioning in there, and they have comfy seats. So
Sit right at the
Yes.
front because at the end of the show they pelt you with bubbles.
That is true.
Yeah.
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 never
I
sit in the front.
I'd be
I love
pelting more than
Rudy
that.
can sleep in the front row.
You'd be
I
getting
think the
this. You'd be
soundtrack for
getting
the Nemo show is amazing. You know,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is. Yeah.
It is great,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a cracking show.
Yeah,
Only
the way
one
they've
niggle was
done
the
it,
old.
the way they've taken it,
What was your niggle?
Co- the way they've shortened it works really well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's so much
Yeah.
better.
That was actually my only niggle with the original. I haven't seen the new one
You
yet.
haven't seen the new one yet.
But the original one, there was always that bit where it felt like they skipped quite a big chunk out. Probably that it was too difficult to make into a show, but it
Yeah.
felt like they went from like quite near the start to suddenly right near the end, and there was a bit in the middle that obviously
Is he
shortened
known
to keep
for
it short as a
It was sort of like
25-minute show.
It
But,
used to be 40.
yeah,
it was like a 7-year-old story at school, and da 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 da.
Yeah.
There they are, the end.
And-
And it was
yeah,
like,
that's to the end. Yeah. But I
Oh,
still,
not as much as Little Mermaid in Hollywood Studios.
I was thinking.
no,
I was
no.
thinking.
no longer there. We'll get to that next week, just as a hint.
Yeah.
Handy hint, yeah.
Is there anything
we will be in
we-
Rome next week, so we won't be able to.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can enjoy yourself. We'll talk without you. So in terms of other places in Animal Kingdom we haven't touched on, I think the walkway behind.
Everest.
Yeah, we're getting there. The walkway behind that goes from the Starbucks round behind the Tree of Life.
Oh yeah.
That's a really cool little walkway, and they've got.
Yeah.
You don't miss the giant tortoises.
It's a great
They're
walkway. I just have this habit of forgetting that it's there.
But yeah, me
It's a
too.
good cut through actually if it's busy. If
Yeah.
you're trying to get over to Asia, it's quite quick.
Yeah.
But yes, John, Everest queue, line theming.
Everything.
Wow.
Just everything. It's just. Yeah. Like,
And you'll be
Yeah.
pleased to
That
know
is-
it's growing on me.
thank you, Ben.
Even Millie did
That's
Everest
nice.
this time. She
That
screamed,
is my-
but she did it.
That is one of my favourite photos. That's the nighttime view when you get to the top of the
Yeah.
mountain.
Yeah.
You did not see what
Just-
happened the other day on YouTube. They broke down and they had to walk down all of the stairs.
from the very top.
Whoa!
That's my
I would.
Hey.
I would love that.
I wouldn't.
Right.
I would love
That's
that.
a lot of stairs.
But
Yeah.
could
So
you
that
imagine
goes-
walking down the inside of the
down.
mountain and with lights on?
Okay,
you
so
think, oh,
inside of the
yes,
mountain I
please.
could do because I'm
Yeah.
indoors.
So they could fix the
Not on the
Yeti.
lift
wouldn't
hill.
they?
Outside, down
On the lift hill, no thank
on the
you.
lift hill. No, no way.
That
I
go-
couldn't do
that- That for me is the same as like trying to be evacuated off Peter Pan. No thank you.
I'll sit here until you start working again.
But if the evacuated off,
Or you're going to have to carry me.
if the evacuated you off, do you think you'd be able to be seen from Blizzard Beach? You know, if you're top of Summit Plummet, and you'd be like, "Hey, hang on, look, someone walked down the back of Everest."
Go and grab some of the backpacks and crampons for you.
Yeah.
please.
They can turn it into a slide for you, Becca.
Yeah.
I don't
I think
know whether that
that
would
was
make it any
helter-skelter.
better.
Everest is an amazing attraction in terms of the
Yeah,
theming
yeah.
and the queue line.
Yeah.
I'm sad that the shop is not the shop used to be so unique, and inside
Yeah.
in terms of theming is
Yeah.
incredible. If
Yeah.
you've got time, hang around in there, look at the shelves and all of that stuff. But the merch that they used to have in there is not
It
the same
was.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's got a bit
Yeah.
mediocre.
Best
There's
ride
a
there,
few
that
little
way.
bits in there that are unique.
Hannah,
Sorry,
Hannah,
Simon.
you've not met me.
What you say, Simon, about the shop?
The comment there from Hannah. Best ride there, very tame, so everyone can ride. My body always thinks I'm trying to kill it off when I get off there. The shop is my stagger area before I have to come back out again because I'm staggering through there going, "Oh, I'm completely disoriented."
Yeah. Oh.
It's the backwards corkscrew bit
yeah.
messes my.
Oh, it's
I have a
brilliant.
similar reaction to Everest
Just
as I do
amazing.
to Guardians, to be fair.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
Guardians.
It's amazing. Sit at the back, just so you know. Back, not the front.
Yeah.
Same as Guardians.
No, Claire, don't tell
that's
everyone,
serious.
please. No. Send everyone
Everyone's on the
down.
front.
Follow the cast
Go to
member.
the
Follow the
front.
cast member. Go to the front,
No.
and then
Actually,
you get to.
If you
Cast
do break
member.
down at the top, if you're at the back, you're going to be closer.
Less stairs.
Less stairs.
That backwards corkscrew, if you're sat at the back, is incredible.
Isn't it
Yeah.
just?
It's
Isn't
very
it
great.
just?
Back next time.
Right, we can ask for that next time. It's just I don't like being in the front row of a roller coaster anyway, so back row is fine.
Everest is amazing. That whole area, as Simon said earlier on, about where the ice cream truck is, and there's a little bar, and then there's all the prayer
Yeah.
flags, and the theming around that area is just so beautiful.
Visuals
And there is that bit where you can have a photo next to, so it looks out over the river towards Everest, but there's a little temple
Yes, I've
model,
got that.
which is
I've got that.
the
Yeah.
same shape as Everest. There's a video, there's
Yeah.
a picture somewhere in the drive-in, but I don't know
Yeah.
if we've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for anyone who's never noticed, that the little temple is the same size, same shape exactly as Everest. It's
Yep.
deliberate. It's not a fluke. Very clever engineering. So I think that it's just one of those spaces that's great fun to explore.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to, thanks.
No, I'll buy some more. It's fine.
So this could be a topic going
We
forward.
could collect them all and put them in the bin because they look a mess.
Yeah.
This could be a future segment.
I
What,
agree.
what ride would you like to break down on so you can see the insides and the workings?
Oh yeah.
Space Mountain. All day long, Space Mountain.
I mean, I just love
It's just a bit dark.
with the lights on, I think. But
So let's add that to the
Let's
Wednesday
pin that.
list.
We'll add that to the list.
Yeah.
Let's pin that
Yeah.
to the list for Wednesdays if you want us to talk about which and places that people have been evacuated or stuck better
I've definitely got some pictures and
world,
videos
just saying.
on.
We've got some Disneyland Paris stories.
Yeah.
Horror stories.
I've never been evacuated off anything,
Oh wow!
ever.
Oh, you've missed out, Peter.
Yeah.
You missed out.
You try harder, Peter. Come on. Is there anywhere else in Animal Kingdom we feel we need to touch on tonight before I put my glasses on?
I'm going to
And-
say the area, you know, where Rivers of Light was and the
Yeah.
kites and just that area there and Flame Tree
Kite
Barbecue.
Tails.
Kite
Yeah.
Tails, that's the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that area
Rhymes with
there.
kite, doesn't it?
Rhymes
Rhymes with
Rhymes with
kite.
kite, yeah.
with
absolutely.
kite. But yeah,
Nice
Flame
one.
Tree Barbecue and that sort of seating area you get from there, you get the view of the water and just that
Yeah.
area is just so peaceful.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the shops. They are, yes, the merch as we were kind of saying with the one at Everest. The shops on at the front of the park. The merchandise is getting a bit but the theming is terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool,
Detail.
actually. There's loads to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
The
there is.
detail in the
Yeah.
shop, in the construction, the interior details where the ornate carvings on the inside of the building.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what about the best shop? Is the one in Dino Land. It's even got a working train that goes around.
Very cool.
Manchester and
Incredible.
Hester's.
We
I can't
stand
remember
in that shop, just watching,
Yeah.
looking at all the details in there.
I know. And you know what? Dino Land is one of those places that obviously is going. We know it's going to be replaced with a
Something.
myriad of different theming. I don't think anyone's going to mourn its loss, but it is a bit sad that
Oh, well.
something, it's time. Let's
Yeah,
face
it
it.
is
Yeah.
time. It's time
Yeah,
for-
it's time. Yeah.
First time I ever went into Dino Land, and I remember thinking, why is this here?
It felt more
Yeah.
like Dreamland than Dino Land.
Yeah.
It just
Okay.
didn't
Yeah.
fit with the rest of the theming of the park.
That's a very Kentish joke, but
It was. It's a local amusement park. That's just exactly what
Those-
that area.
We'll put a link to Dreamland in for
Good.
anyone who
Just
doesn't
say-
know what it is.
Oh, I've heard about it. Yes.
Quick hello to Lisa, who is in Magic Kingdom.
And Lisa, wow.
Lisa's
And
got
it's,
a team.
Wow,
So Lisa's,
thank you.
there's some of the usual crowd not with us tonight.
Yeah.
Because they're off gallivanting and having all sorts of shenanigans in Magic Kingdom together.
Yeah.
So I know there's a group of people who aren't with us. We do miss you, but I know that you're having loads of fun, and I hopefully you'll catch up on the replay, which is a really important point, because actually you can watch all of our shows on replay on our YouTube channel if you're interested. We mentioned at the beginning of the show we've got loads coming up. We had a show out on Sunday. We had a show out this Sunday which was talking about Aulani. So a little trip to Hawaii. Anyone? If you haven't listened to it, and you are friendly with your bank manager, then listen. If you're not, then don't, because you absolutely are going to want to go.
Either that, get in touch with Neil and Karen at Portwood Travel, because
they might be able to see
Neil texted me. He'd listened to the show and he said, "What a fantastic show that was!" And it's just like, we really missed a chance there of having some fantastic advertising. I said, well, there you go. But I'm pretty sure it's a wonder. I listened for the first time on Sunday. It's a fabulous show. So
if you've never, obviously Robin and Simon have been. We also had. What was it? Who was it we had on?
What was his name again?
Can't remember.
Who was it? If you haven't listened, there's a brilliant moment where Ben forgets Jason from Here with the Magic's name, who obviously friend
blooper of the year, and it's only January. Even
I didn't laugh at all.
I did. I thought it was hilarious.
We recorded it a little while ago, and I'm still laughing about it now.
Yeah, brilliant.
But if you haven't been to Hawaii, then that gives you a flavour of what you might experience. So it's an amazing listen. Just don't listen when you've got no cash, because it's going to torment you forever.
Yeah.
I think that's what Neil and I were just like. I think I said I need to win the lottery first.
It's sort of like long-term planning. That's like, listen,
there was definitely an issue there.
Leave the kids at home.
For 2027 or something. But let us know in our comments and in the Waffle's Arms if there's anything that you want us to talk about, because we're open to suggestion always. And we've got all of our previous shows on our website, which is gbmickywaffle.com. You can find everything on YouTube. And Ben, have you got a video of what's coming up?
I do, but before we say that, for anyone listening to the show on the podcast, which you can have listened to a Wafflers Wednesday on podcast, so it's out every Friday at 5. So if you miss us on a Wednesday, you can catch us on the podcast.
That's dead handy.
Yeah.
So you can actually do it as a podcast rather than watching YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can listen.
See, I knew I'd forget something.
Or you could do that.
I never host the show, and this is exactly why, because I always forget.
We'll let you off. We've only been doing the podcast version of this show for about 3 weeks. So.
This will be the 3rd episode that's out on Friday. So yes, Claire, brilliant. I do have a video of what is coming.
Here's one you put, the Blue Peter moment.
Here's one we made earlier.
Yeah, I hope it's not last week's.
It's that photo of Tom Hiddleston again. Can we just keep that in? Can we keep that in? So even when we've done that show, can we find another reason to put it in?
It's to distract you at the end, Claire.
I know.
It's to make you watch the show again. That's what it is.
Right. I'm
make
struggling
you watch from the
beginning. I have loved talking about Animal Kingdom tonight. It's been loads of fun. And I think we've probably not even done it justice. There's probably loads more we could have talked about. But bearing in mind, we've gone over. These are meant to be hour shows. We've gone over loads.
Yeah, an hour and 20.
Yeah, but
I did say we could have got 2 hours out of this. Yeah.
Definitely.
And we
I
didn't
think
even
most of-
talk about ending the loss of the original mango pie from Yak and Yeti. You know,
No,
we didn't
we
even
haven't even gone there. You can find the recipe online, though. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
we-
doesn't taste the same.
Peter, can you make one for us?
Maybe it would taste the same if Peter made it.
In the
When I
future,
get back-
at some point. We'll find
When I
you a
get back
recipe.
from Rome,
Yeah.
possibly,
Yeah,
yes.
there we go.
Brilliant. What's the point in having a chef in the team if he can't make you a mango pie?
Too right.
Let's leave that there. Guys, thank you so much for your fun and contribution tonight. It's been so much fun.
Brilliant.
I have loved chatting about Animal Kingdom. I loved everyone in the chat. They've been like going on and all
Chat's been
involved.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
And so next week we're talking about Hollywood Studios. There's so much. How are we going to cram Hollywood Studios into an hour? We wouldn't have said that 4 years ago, but we,
That is true.
so much to talk about.
But we'll
let's-
continue the conversation over on our
Waffles
Facebook
Arms.
community, the Waffler's Arms.
There we are.
So what we can't fit in an hour on here, we can spend all week talking about over on our Facebook
Yeah.
community.
Absolutely. So we see you there. Grab a drink, sit yourself down, make yourself comfortable, invite your friends, and we will see you back here next Wednesday for more waffling.
Yeah.
So it's only one thing left to say, and since I'm hosting, I will say it because everyone is waiting for me to say it. So
I'll beat
thanks,
you to it. I'll beat you to it and say, just keep swimming.
Brilliant.
Waffle.
Waffle on.
Waffle.
Yay!